Hi, Stu. Great session again yesterday. Just a quick look at your recap on regards to the session that we did. One of the things that we highlighted via flight scope was that even though you're doing a very good job with your face angle, you're not really controlling the path very well. We're just tending to come across it a touch as we come through impact. We can see on that one the ball starting a little bit left and trying to curve off to the right. Very hard to keep your hands quiet if we see that ball drifting out to the right, because one of the things we're going to want to do then is close the club to make sure it starts left to accommodate the curve. So we've got to look at why is that ball still curving out to the right. As we saw with flight scope, presenting the club maybe 2-3 degrees open, which is pretty good. All we've got to do now is get a swing path a little bit more from the inside. Good position at that point, get into the top, there's a touch of a lift, you get a little bit in discipline with the arms. Arms tend to lift up a little bit too much, and then the arm gets out in front of you and we start to release that right forearm. That right forearm starts to roll over a little bit too soon, resulting in the club coming across the body. What we see here now on the second frame across is you making some swings using just your left arm. You can see as you do that, the tendency is for the arm to trace the grid on the floor a little bit more, rather than trying to keep the arms on the line. We try and get the arms working in. If the arms work in, it's much easier to hit out. You can see the in to out. Remember, the key is hitting out, not just getting the club from the inside. If we have the club coming from the inside nicely, but then roll that right forearm at the last moment, the club path is going to change from in to out to in very, very quickly indeed. So you can see the arm in and then swinging out, flatter left wrist through impact. So we take a little look at you here. What we've done is we've set the grid up differently for you. We've got the target line that we want to aim down, so pretty neutral setup. And we're trying to feel on this swing that the arms trace the line that's grid, or the line on the grid that is more from the inside. What we've also done here is put your golf ball back in your stance. By putting the ball back in the stance, it's encouraging us to hit the ball a little bit earlier in the downswing, a little bit earlier in the circle, so that we're guaranteeing we're going to come from the inside. We take a little look at what that makes us do. As you take the club back with that ball position just a little bit more back in your stance, you're trying to trace the grid. You can see the arm works in more rather than tracing the line, and more importantly, it stays in during the downswing. You can see now the club a little bit more behind your hands coming into the ball, certainly coming more from the inside than you were at the start of your session, and then just hitting out at it enough to give you the flight that we want. So coming from the inside, hitting out rather than coming too much down the line and across. We can see with that into out action, we get a little bit of a higher exit with the shaft into the follow through. Some nice positions, not quite as much clearance during your finish, a sign that you hit out at it a little bit more. But certainly coming into the ball, that one was better. Arm more from the inside as opposed to trying to get the arm on the line and release quickly. So you can see there now, left arm, left arm. So we want to keep that arm in a little bit longer. The other thing we discussed during your session was the accumulators and the way things fire during the golf swing. Sequence of moves from the top. As we approach the top of the backswing, the sequence that we should be making. First move, left arm moves away from the right shoulder. As the left arm runs out, the right arm starts to expand. The wrist starts to uncock. And then only really after impact does that right forearm roll over. So we've got a sequence of arms moving away from the shoulder, right arm starting to gradually expand, wrist starting to unhinge, and then forearm starting to rotate. You can see and you can get a feel for the fact yesterday that if that right forearm rotates too early, the club gets flung out in front of you, and despite your best efforts, you're never going to attack the ball from the inside. As I said at the start of the session, you were doing a super job with your face angle coming in anywhere between 1 to 3 degrees open or open to your target. All we needed to do then was get a path rather than being down the line or a little bit out to him, which was given as the cut. Just switch that path to the inside, and we started to hit some really well struck, nicely shaped goal shots. Good luck with it, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Well done.